I'm in frame.
You
We're
are in
fine.
frame. Okay, fine. You're in. Okay, we'll see when I switch scenes. Welcome to the end of the summer. It's kind of our last official Monday, I guess, of the summer before we kick into
Pretty much, yeah.
September, which is to me at least officially fall.
Yeah.
So not a huge amount to talk about this week.
Not a lot. No, pretty
Lorcana
quiet.
has Fabled coming out, which means
Yeah,
that
rotation.
rotation's
Rotation
coming.
Friday.
So not a huge amount to talk about until that happens, and then I'm really excited to just talk about that and only
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we have. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of events kind of happening. I say maybe not this weekend, then like the next weekend after. But I saw there's a fair
I
number will
I
be
wish
good
I
to
wish
go
you
from the
could,
jump.
and if anybody from Ravensburger sees this, I wish you could filter Play Hub by like largeness scale of the event. That way I could just go look at what else is coming.
That's fair.
But Pokemon also kind of officially kicks off its new stuff in September, although you do
Yeah,
have 150 points now
I do.
from
Cup wins,
doing
two
League
challenges
Cups and League
wins.
Challenges.
4 out of 4 for the last ones of like
Yeah.
finishing first in all of them, which was kind of wild. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. And then so yeah, we got a little bit of Magic, a little bit of Warhammer to talk about this week. And then hopefully next week we start off with our big tournaments.
Yeah, well, there's a spotlight series in Florida this weekend, so we'll
Is
have
there?
a
Okay.
big
So
big event to
this
talk about
is
for Magic next
this
week.
is the last week of hopefully
Small-ish
small
stuff,
events for the summer.
small fry.
All right, let's kick right into Magic.
Sure.
So we have I just copied this from I retyped it.
Yeah,
So
so there was nothing really huge. So the NRG was like the biggest like event, wise. Was standard format for it. So that one was something where like there were a lot of Vivi lists. The top eight was like 6 Vivi decks. The funny part was I think this one was there's one of them was either the Haruya one or this one where there was like 6 lists that were listed as Vivi lists and 2 that weren't. And one of them was like white blue control. And the other one, when you clicked on it, it listed as other, but you clicked on it, it was just a Vivi list. Someone had like tagged it wrong. So the Vivi list is really good. If you look at it, they are very similar, kind of stock lists, kind of across the
I've
board.
stopped taking anything but the first place list because they're all Vivies.
That's fair. If you want to pop over to the list,
We'll pop over to it. Let's see if I put standard up
yeah,
first. That looks like standard. That
yeah,
looks like Vivi.
yeah. So basically, it's what
Vivi
you
Soul
expect.
Cauldron.
Honestly, it's something that like if there's not a ban or a change, something I'm debating playing for Liverpool because like I've played it.
I was almost going to
It's
put that in the end cards, and
it's
then I
just
thought maybe I wouldn't.
it's just really good. I think that the biggest offender here is like having played the list a bit. It's very powerful, very strong. The thing that is good about it is, I guess, the Soul Cauldron, provide extra value for your Vivi, so you get double Vivi activations, is just an insane sort of line of play. But also being able to invalidate graveyard strategies and also be good for your deck. So if your opponent's trying to do something where they're trying to go above the Vivi deck or on top of it, a lot of times you're going to try to do that with your graveyard interaction. And having 4 main deck ways just go, I'll just eat that out of it and get value out of it is just absolutely
I mean, Vivi
wild.
Soul Cauldron has been like consistent for the last couple.
Yeah, and there's
And
other versions of it. Like there's a Vivi version that cuts down to like 1 or 2 Soul Cauldrons and just like plays Storm Chasers down,
Yeah.
plays more like an aggressive style, and that's largely dropped off in favor of this.
That's fair. Well,
Yeah.
we've talked about this week after week. I don't think we need to retread it.
I mean, probably not. The list is good. I would fully expect that it'll get a banning of the Cauldron is the contender. I don't think Vivi is the problem. I think Cauldron is.
I think Vivi's too new for them to ban without
I think
seeing
Vivi's
without
not
seeing
the
if Vivi's
problem.
the actual problem. If
Like-
Vivi's not the actual problem, I don't see them.
Because like the thing is like a spot removal spell answers Vivi. The challenge with Cauldron is that if you play good and have cool, I have a spot removal spell, answers Vivi, kills it. I've 1-for-1 answered that before it could get rolling because that's kind of what the deck's living or dying on. The challenge is with Cauldron, just because you killed it doesn't mean that it is gone.
Yeah.
Like they still functionally just have a spare Vivi. So you spend a card to remove a card and they can just ignore it, which is really brutal.
No, that's fair. Well, that's that Vivi list. I'm just gonna move us right on what is it, Modern?
Yeah,
Wait, I mean we
so
talked about this one
another
last week too.
MTGO challenge.
Another Belcher.
Another win for Belcher.
Yeah.
Again, not something I expected, but
In
it's
fact,
kind of fun to see.
when I put this in there, I thought, oh, I must have not put in I must have grabbed the wrong one because this looks like I commented on that one lone little mountain last week. But yeah, it's that I double checked.
I would highly suspect that the answer is that there's
probably the same list.
It's
or
probably the
super
same
similar.
dude. I didn't check the name
I
for
didn't
it,
check
so
the name either.
I probably should do that going forward. I'll start like putting people's names of the list for it. But I would, given the nature of Moto and that there's a very small community of people who actively play on it and the sizing of these events, I suspect it's probably the same dude just running it back or someone who saw his list and was like, that seems like a cool plan.
So if it is good for you, good for Belcher.
Yeah. I like seeing it. It's a dumb list and I enjoy it. So yeah, what can I say?
Yeah.
But yeah, and for Pokemon, I don't think we've got a whole lot for
Oh,
Pokemon.
oh, Pokemon, I actually put the
Oh,
cricket
you actually
symbol.
put
Yeah,
crickets.
I actually put the crickets.
So when I sent the production notes for today, I just was like crickets. It was these were the because like
Yeah,
there was Worlds last weekend, or weekend before last, and that was a big thing.
yeah.
There wasn't even really a big online one. This I checked and like
I mean, it makes sense after Worlds having like a week calm down, and then it's what, September 13th is the first one in Frankfurt. So
yeah,
like it's kicking off pretty
it's
early
like 2 weeks
September.
now. So like
Yeah.
yeah, that's oh god, it's 2 weeks now.
Yeah, you should make sure you
Yeah.
got your travel plans
Yeah,
booked there.
well, related to that, I have been testing for Frankfurt. It's going well. I've been playing some Roulette GX. Really liking it. Part of what's beneficial for it is being able to, it draws a lot of cards, so it's really immune to a lot of disruption that you'll see out there, and the ability to have a present one prize Pokemon, so your opponent takes the first knockout with the two prizer, and then you go up to a two prizer and start the trade back.
Hmm.
It's really good sort of doing the 2-2 line, or if it needs to do 1-2-2, 1-2-3. Which is with the Briar to be able to because your opponent has to take two prize knockouts. It can be a little awkward into Dragapult sometimes, but like I find that you can hit for such high numbers that Dragapult really can't one shot you most times without like a Dusknoir kind of in there, and even then they can do that. But as long as you set up your bench where they just can't take everything off the board, you just kind of clean them up
Yeah.
after that. So
We'll do a bigger video on Swirlage because I know it's something that you've been
I
liking
like
to
it a
play
lot.
for
And
a
a lot of
while.
people
Yeah.
playing Golden Go to
Yeah.
answer the Dragapult matchups and like just being able to play,
Oh, we
to
had
hit them for weakness was great.
we had a mom and her son come in, and he was asking about who's the gold Pokemon. I'm like, the one that looks like craft dinner. He's like,
Yeah, that one.
yeah.
Yeah. I played against that a lot,
Yeah.
at the cups I've been playing. Like, yeah, it's a super good matchup for me. I think I've lost 2 games against it in like the 7 or 8 times I played it. Like games, not matches. So like
Yeah.
it's and one of them was like me trying something different and just being like, ah, that probably doesn't work. But like I've got wiggle room to test
No,
it. So
that's fair.
yeah,
Well, crickets for Pokemon.
crickets for Pokemon.
We'll go on to Lorcana,
Crickets for
which
Lorcana. More crickets.
oh, 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 more
Oh, more
crickets.
crickets.
More crickets for Lorcana.
More crickets for Lorcana.
So for Lorcana, I did put something up as there is a decent amount of people that are talking about what is going to be up for the meta going forward.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a video on what changes for the past meta, but everybody is totally hyped for
Yeah.
what they're
This list
calling the
is good.
boogeyman. Yeah, this list is really good. We're gonna go test it and put some videos up about it, but it's very fast, it's very effective, it's very aggressive. Um,
It's brutally fast.
it's
Like
brutally
it's hard to
fast,
answer.
and
Like there's not like a it's
my personal opinion, I think yours too. If you're gonna go to a bigger tournament, you either need you should play this or you should play with an answer because this is strong
like
and
you
it's
need clean
fast.
answers,
You
right?
need
Like you
clean answers before turn 4.
yeah. Yeah, like because part of this power is like the Tiana being able to be down so early is so impactful,
Mhm.
and there's very few things at that low in the curve at like the two, turn three play, where you can actually answer it convincingly. It is a very real deck,
Yeah.
and also the other thing to bear in mind for this one is a very cheap deck card wise.
Oh my
Like your
goodness, like
Tianas will be your expensive part, but like everything else is
Pluto
rares to supers,
Goofy,
goofies that come in the Jafar box, so like
like
it's not
yeah.
like they're expensive.
Oh,
So
you're talking like dollar. I was
yeah,
talking ink too. Like this is a
yeah,
play out your hand
you
type.
don't go above four. There's no
Yeah.
reason to go above four. The only time you're gonna go above four is you have to you're docking and you didn't get to like resolve the other cards. Like, well, yeah, that's really
Yeah.
the only way.
No.
But no, it's gonna be good. We found a couple lists that like do really well into this. So
Yeah, we're gonna do some videos on that. I will say that while we tested 25-ish games with this one, other than two individual games, not matches, two individual games, I started Aurora Tiana every single game.
I mean, because you can mulligan so hard for it,
Oh,
right?
Mulligan. I looked at my hand. If it didn't have Tiana or Aurora, the
Back
whole
it
thing went
goes.
back.
Back it goes.
No, so this is a great list. We're gonna do a video on this later. This is the current boogeyman for Lorcana. That's really the only news on Lorcana until Fable is out. We're gonna do a Fable open on camera. We're talking about doing like a case battle,
Yeah.
maybe with 4 people. We'll see who we can find. A little more on that later.
Yeah, and for you're gonna be going over because you have a list that actually beats this
We
reliably.
have
We have a
we have
list that's
one
like
list that
sixty
beats this
percent
reliably.
on the draw
Yeah,
and like 80% on the play.
yeah, I'm
It's
gonna post that
wild.
up on my channels.
Yeah, that'll be on your
I
channel, right?
think we have 2 lists that can beat this,
Yeah,
but we're currently still testing the second one before I confirm it.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to know what will beat this or what we have found will beat this, more on that later.
yeah.
Come back. All right. Last thing for this is a very short week. Last thing for the week is we have one Warhammer event. We have Capital City Bloodbath, which just sounds super Warhammery,
Yeah,
anyways.
it was in Ottawa. So this is kind of one of our ones and kind of our pseudo in our backyard.
Yeah,
So in Ottawa, I recognize a couple names from the ones that for there, so that was kind of cool. I
let's
think it
head
was
to it, shall we?
76 players, I think is what it was. So you're not allowed to scroll.
Not allowed to scroll on this one.
Nope.
I will sit back.
75
75,
players. So
very
it was
close.
yeah, so it was a golden ticket invite event. So basically, the winner of this one got a spot in the big end of the year event for GW, which was cool to see. As far as it goes, they did 6 rounds of play. There was one undefeated, one person with 5 wins and a draw, and then a variety of sort of other results after that.
His list name is Stat Check.
That would be his team affiliation.
Team
So
affiliation.
that's
All
the
right.
play group that he kind of
Cool.
like he puts on things. Whenever you see that at like the right hand
That's
side, that's kind of what they are.
Okay.
So this would be their army. This is their name.
Today I learned.
Points scored. Looks like they were using the differential point scoring, which is basically like it's not 100 points out of 100 points, but like how much did you win by? So like
Oh, that's why the numbers are so low. Okay,
the numbers
cool.
are so low.
Cool.
So like
So going golf
20s
scores.
20 means that you basically scored a perfect game. You just
Cool.
blew out your opponent so hard.
Okay.
So you'll notice that with the death card list,
Oh, then he did pretty good. 20, 20,
he's
20,
got
17,
4
17.
perfect games out of 6 and 2 17. So like
Yeah.
all of his games were super lopsided.
Wow.
The Imperial
Good
Knights
for
was a
him.
little closer, more
But
11.
still very, very solid wins.
Still very solidly in the win
Yeah.
column.
I like the color coding there. If the blue is close, green is pretty
blue
clear.
Is indicating a
Tie, perhaps?
I think
Okay.
blue, blue is a tie.
And then red is no, I like the color coding system too.
Or if it's not a tie, it's like darn close.
Real close, yeah.
I think it's but yeah, so the thing that's interesting about this is that they're using differential scoring, which is it's whatever, it's just another way to score it. The bigger thing of note is that Death Guard and Imperial Knights, the top 2 finishes here, both got points changes prior to this event that were not in place at this one. And going into these sort of events, it was well known that like Death Guard and Imperial Knights, needed some tweaking because their units were just too efficient for what they did. So none of their abilities have changed, but the points have dropped significantly on them. So like, I did a quick like numbers check on the Death Guard list. So the Death Guard list that was played at this event was 2,000 points pre-data slate update. After the data slate update, it's 2,225 points. So a significant increase in the amount of like points.
Like, yeah, quarter.
Yeah, like
Almost.
it is a very large number of like what is changed. And then Imperial Knights is around 185 points. So like a significant list, and you can see that in the results, right? Like you look down the list and the scorings, and they just kind of dummied everything. And a big part of that is that they had several more units than at least 1 to 2 more units in the yeah. In the case of Imperial Knights, at least like 1-ish units, and in the case of the Death Guard, multiple units worth of stuff on the field. So
all right, let's talk about the list.
Yeah, so for second place, it was kind of what you expect to see. All of the stuff that's on here is all stuff that got hit with points increases. So you got basically 4 big knights, Canis Rex, 2 Knight Atropos, a Knight Crusader, and then a bunch of armigers to just kind of round it down to like hold stuff and go sit on things. So again, pretty typical, pretty stock Knights sort of list. Nothing surprising. We've seen stuff like this very similar too, so nothing kind of new on it.
Second place.
This was first place.
That's first place. So, I put them in the wrong order.
You sure did. It's all good. Virulent Vectorum, typical Death Guard list. You kind of see it all here. Nothing too wild to think about. And again, yeah, just all the stuff you sort of expect to see. Lord of Contagions, Terminators, Malefic Blight Haulers, Fetid Bloat Drones, just kind of all the usual stuff. But yeah, all in all, a pretty stock list, and it went up in points because, of course, it went up in points because it was ridiculous.
Well, that's what we got for the week. Hopefully new big stuff coming next week with something for Magic and then going right into Pokemon.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Have a good one.